Hello, hello. What's up? I am at the beach. It's beautiful out here. With my dog. So I woke up today feeling good. Went and cleaned, a house for a family member. Everything was good. Got off. Had the music cranked in the car, vibing, singing, dancing, straight chilling, having fun. And then all of a sudden, had all this shit just pop up in my head, man, and I can't even tell you what the shit was. It was just like trash. And like as an empath, where it gets confusing is like when you go to different places, you're around people, chords kind of get established when you connect with people, especially on like a personal level. And it's like you get lost. You get lost in the, is this me? Is this them? Why am I feeling this? Because it was just like out of nowhere. Just like uneasiness. Things popping in my head. Like my friend, my only friend that's in Canada, he's moving. He's leaving. That was going through my mind. Being away from my family for a year, that was going through my mind. Where we live, there are perks and there are, ups and downs. Where I got this, it's beautiful. Mountains everywhere, water, nature. But like, there's no like fast food restaurants. There's like a few, like 3 different places you can eat around here. There's like one fancy dining place with a bar, and that's like the only place. There's no Target, there's no Walmart, there's no mall. There's nowhere to go get your nails done. Toenails, your fingernails. There's no like shopping stores really. And that was kind of going through my head a little bit. Because where I'm from, I got used to those things and I miss some of those things, but what I got in return is priceless. Like this is fucking priceless. But I was thinking about that, and I could feel certain different family members. I could feel their energy. I could feel the nostalgia in the air, if you will. And going back to what I said, it's like, well, fuck, which one is me? Am I really upset or sad because I'm here? Because I can't go do this? Because I can't go do that? Am I really just trying to find a distraction because I don't like the way I'm feeling? Am I feeling other people's emotions that I'm connected to on a heart level? And I was thinking, when it comes to the masculine and the feminine energy, I always look at the masculine as like the conscious creator, and the feminine as like the conscious observer. And when it comes to shifting through reality, shifting through timelines, what I've learned is that, and Spirit taught me this by running on the treadmill, But like when I used to be running on the treadmill, I'd get a cramp. I wasn't feeling very good in my body. I'd have these thoughts come up. They were like, I want to stop, this is too much, or my leg's cramping. So the negative thoughts would come in, the beliefs would come in. I don't know how much longer I can run. I was feeling the energy and motion, the emotion in the body. And Spirit was like, you got two choices. You can consciously observe it and flow with the wave, or you can consciously create and you can shift the energy. But there's a trick to it. It's not like, well, I'm not going to say you can't, because I believe that all things are possible, but for most of us, it's not like when we're having a bad day or we're missing our family or missing our partner. You know, we're just being human. It's not like we can just think in our mind, okay, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to feel that. And then we're in a different reality. What Spirit's taught me is that as you can accept and embody the present moment as it is, embody yourself as you are in each moment. And for empaths, not accepting other people's shit. But when you're unsure if it's yours, when you're unsure and you're going on in your head, is this mine? Where is this coming from? What do I do with it? How do I shift it? What I've learned is that when you can embody a state of accepting what is, and sometimes that means surrendering the clarity, the understanding of what's actually going on, surrendering that, softening that addiction to knowing and figuring it out, to changing it, to getting out of the present moment, to getting out of your body. When you step into acceptance and embody the moment as it is, allow the emotion, the energy and motion to be as it is. For one, when you let go from the mind games, from the mental trash, from trying to figure it out, and you just go on the journey, you just take the wave, right? The conscious observer, the feminine energy. Those answers will magnetize to you, but not if you're chasing them, right? So if you're in a chasing energy, a doing energy, a figuring it out, a fixing, a saving, then you're repelling the very thing that you're trying to harmonize with. And I think, you know, that's kind of what I wanted to mention, was just like what I've learned is, whether it's the empathic ability or whether it's your own mental trash, whether it's other people, to be able to step into that conscious observer or that conscious creator and shift the energy, there's one thing that has to take place first. You have to harmonize with the present moment. The only way to harmonize with the present moment is to tap into unconditional love. And unconditional love represents acceptance on all levels. And that acceptance puts you in a receptivity, the feminine energy that allows you to flow. Ain't that right, baby? Oh, yeah. You know, when I notice that I'm getting that way, because I've practiced being in my body, because I learned through my own personal experience and through interacting with other human beings that there are two things that bring you into your body. One of those is trauma. The other one of those is pleasure. You know? And that's how trauma and grief and pain and suffering. She was rolling in the sand. Let me see you roll over. Oh yeah, let me see you roll over. Oh yeah, I see you, baby. What was I saying? Spirit taught me that things that happened to us in the past, relationships, work, friendships, trauma, the trauma that takes place, sometimes it's a mental trauma, sometimes it's mental and emotional, sometimes it's physical trauma, psychic trauma, psyche. And how trauma gets stored in the body, why we repeat cycles, why we repeat traumatic loops, is because when trauma hits us, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, when we're in presence of trauma, we resist the present moment. We won't accept it. We try to run away from it. We try to get out of the pain, which is understandable, Some of the trauma and abuse that we've been through, it was hard to be present with. But as you practice, especially with your empathic abilities, as you practice softening all the mind's mental trash about how you're feeling, all the mind's mental trash about your relationships, about your journey, about your path, and you allow yourself to be present with what you are feeling, be present with the ideas that are coming up in the mind. And as you practice staying in the body, even when it's uncomfortable, the next time it arises and you have that integrated harmony within yourself, that unconditional self-love that says, no matter what I'm feeling, no matter what I'm thinking, I'm not going to abandon myself. Then the next time that it comes up, since you've practiced that, you've integrated it, when challenge persists you in any way that it does, when uncertainty comes into the mind, when nostalgia creeps in, when grief creeps in, and you've practiced not abandoning yourself, not abandoning the feeling, the intuition, the present moment, when it comes up again, you have a better capacity to be able to shift those things because you have practiced and integrated not resisting the present moment. The feminine energy is the one that connects us to the conscious observer. And you can't shift without the stillness, without the receptivity. So I wanted to give y'all something practical, a tool that you can implement, a way of embodying the present moment, especially when the mind is doing what it does, when the ego is triggered, when the emotions are uncomfortable. They're talking about the conscious observer. To shift any reality, you must first become the observer of that reality. It's just like playing a video game. How are you going to get to another level if you don't know which level you're on? How do you conquer the level you're on if you do not observe and take a journey through the level, right? And when it comes to the divine feminine energy, the conscious observer energy, what Spirit means by embodying the present moment through acceptance and flow, surrender, harmonizing your frequency to the timeline that you are in so that you can consciously create and shift to another timeline if you want. What spirit means. For example, if you have negative thoughts, negative beliefs, heavy emotions, challenges, the two things that bring you into the present moment, into the body, are pleasure and trauma. So if you're experiencing traumatic loops in your psyche, if you're experiencing heavy emotions, traumatic emotions, right? Just because I say trauma doesn't mean like all hell broke loose, but those things, depression, anxiety, anger, frustration, it's a trauma, right? If you're experiencing that in the mind and the emotions or in your experience, in your reality, how to tap into the conscious observer, the divine feminine energy, the stillness of spirit, your heart frequency, to transcend the reality that you are in, is to combat or to harmonize that trauma with pleasure, with affection, with love, with heart frequency, unity, consciousness, Christ conscious, unconditional love. Sometimes that means loving yourself, holding yourself. Not to fix anything, not to save yourself or save anyone else. Just as the divine feminine, the nurturer. So what else would a mother do? Her child is stressed. Her child is angry, frustrated, crying, upset. A mother is as good as a mother can be. She might want to take her child's pain away, but she knows that she can't. So she has to accept it. She has to let that child be angry, let that child be frustrated, let that child cry. And she nurtures that child. She is affectionate to that child. And it's the same thing with self. Just like the masculine and the feminine. They're two completely bipolar energies. But you can actually harmonize the contrast between the masculine and the feminine. They can merge into union, to unity consciousness. So if you're experiencing trauma loops, grief loops, anger loops, addiction loops, self-sacrifice, victim mentality, lack mentality, tap into the feminine. Show some affection to yourself, to others. Be affectionate in your mind. Be affectionate in your behavior. Be affectionate in your actions. So if you're experiencing those trauma loops in your relationships and work and whatever, you keep meeting that resistance. Meet that resistance with your divine feminine energy, with acceptance, with love, with affection, with patience. What else would a mother do? If her child was stressed, playfulness, light-heartedness, compassion, baby. Those are all heart frequencies. All of them. Heart frequency. Forgiveness. Maybe your child did something he ain't supposed to do. Maybe you did something you ain't really supposed to do that you knew was going to hurt you or somebody else. Forgiveness. Compassion of the heart. Divine feminine energy. And that's truly how you learn to heal this planet, how to harmonize from within when something happens or you do something or you experience something that is traumatic. Learning to love again, learning to forgive, learning to let go and play, learning to put down all the obligations and step into the stillness, all the obligations of the mind, and stepping in to the flow of spirit. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? But when the mind starts going, when you start stepping into that trauma loop, your mind and your ego is gonna make you think that you gotta survive, baby. Fight or flight, what you gonna do? You're gonna meet resistance with resistance? Are you gonna run? Are you gonna abandon yourself, abandon the present moment? So So just remember that. Remember, when you start seeing those trauma loops play out within yourself, when you start doubting yourself, when you don't know how to make decisions, when you don't know which way to go, when there is uncertainty, when there is chaos, when there is pressure, remember to tap into the feminine and nurture your mind. Be affectionate with the mind. Take a negative belief, flip it into a positive, not to fix it, but to create some balance, some harmony in the mind. To take the heavy emotion and maybe sometimes express it. Allow it to be expressed. Be careful where you throw it though. Like if it's anger, resentment, or judgment, or you're blaming someone else for your suffering, or you're blaming someone else for the pressure that you feel internally or that's in your life, be careful where you throw that energy. You can come out to the beach by yourself. Scream if you want to. Or you can take that anger, that frustration, and you can add some lightheartedness to it, some playfulness. Get lost in the moment, in your senses. A lot of us, when we're under pressure, we want to contract. We want to hide. We want to abandon. We want to restrict ourselves. We want to hold on so tightly. Well, really, what if the breakthrough was on the other side of you letting go and just playing? What if it's really that simple? I love you. I'm back. So Spirit just told me something. They said that trauma gets stuck in the body because we are so resistant to the present moment when we're going through trauma, right? When something bad is happening, when we're feeling something really bad. And what they just said is why we're asking you to step into the conscious observer before you shift or try to shift the reality that you're in is because if you can step into the flow state, if you can step into presence in the reality that you are in, then when you shift to a different timeline, your energy does not become fragmented. Your energy signature does not become fragmented. You are not leaving any part of yourself behind because you have accepted and embodied yourself as you are in this moment. You have accepted and harmonized with the challenges and everything else in this moment. So therefore, when you step into your masculine energy and want to create some shit, you get a fresh start. Ain't that right? Ain't that right, thinking book? Oh yeah, that's what I said. That was Spirit said. I love you. I want to share one last thing with you guys. Before I got to the beach, you know, like I said, I was having a good day. Everything was fine. And all of a sudden, the energy shifted and it was heavier, denser energy. And I wanted to get something to eat. I didn't really feel like cooking anything. So I look on the menus. Like I said, there isn't much to choose from. And it's definitely not my southern, what I would like. Like, I wanted some fucking fried chicken, okay? I wanted some southern fried chicken. I wanted some Bojangles. I don't know why, but that's just what I wanted. But, like, I was having the hardest time figuring out what I fucking wanted to eat. Like, I was going through all the menus over and over and over again. Then I was gonna come to the beach and record like I did, but I decided to let my phone charge, so I took the dog for a walk around the block. Oh my gosh, I had put some mascara on, and it's like nice and sunny out, right? So I go to take Ella for a walk around the block while my phone's charging. And the reality that we were in, it was the wind was blowing, We were in the shade. The sun wasn't hitting us. The wind was so constant that it was making my eyes water, and I had just put mascara on, so like makeup was running, shit was getting in my eyes. Weren't in the sun. It was cold. Like, it was miserable, to be completely honest. I just couldn't wait for it to be over. But like, I was just kind of observing the situation, trying to relax, but like, it was frustrating. So I go home, I'm looking over the menu, trying to figure out what I want to eat. Nothing's speaking to me. I can't make a decision. And I'm just like, what is this reality that I am in? Like, earlier today, it was bliss and like flow, and I was having fun. And now all of a sudden, it's like shit, and I'm miserable, and it's cold, and fucking got shit in my eyes. I'm hungry. I'm starving. I can't figure out what I want to eat. So then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to make something. I made me some shrimp scampi for lunch. And then I literally, you guys, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I gave up. I was like, I surrender. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out in my mind what I want to do, because clearly that ain't working. And I knew I wanted to go to the grocery store and get Ella some food. So I was like, Ella, you want to ride with me? So we get in the car, go to the grocery store, pick up the food. And then I was on the way back home, and I was like, you know what? I was on the way back home, and I was like, let me use some of my tools. I've learned that, you know, the easiest way for me to harmonize when I'm not in an energy that I really prefer is to tap into it, you know, tap into my senses, my sense of hearing, sense of sound, sense of smell, sense of sight. And like, when I do my sense of sight, you know, you can look directly in front of you and like direct what you're looking at. I see the road, right? But if you actually kind of soften the sight, you can see like a movie, all 180 in front of you simultaneously. So like, as I'm driving back, I'm tapping into that. I'm tapping into my breath, tapping into my sense of sound, the sensation of smell, the sensation and the feeling in the body with the breath, tapping into the energy around my body. And then I was like, you know what? I feel like driving. So I just start driving around, me and Ella in the car. And I'm observing, right? Surrendering. And we ended up at the beach. And then I did this video. And, you know, it was what I wanted to do to begin with, was record the video on the beach. I don't know why. That's just like kind of what I wanted to do. And without choosing it, even though that's what I wanted to do, without even choosing it, Spirit led me there. And it happened, you know. But it wasn't until I surrendered my mind in it all. I'm backing into the driveway. Lord have mercy. Let me try to concentrate for a second. Good enough. But it wasn't until I just like surrendered completely, and I just started driving around without any real clarity of where I was going, what I was doing. I thought I was just going to drive down the road. The drive down the road turned into going to the beach. I thought I was just going to drive by the beach. The drive by the beach turned into walking down the beach, playing in the sand, doing a video. So I just want to let you guys know that, and I've been getting this message a lot, but I just want to remind you to tap back into the basics. You know, you have a negative belief, flip it to a positive. You're feeling a heavy emotion, you know, not to go and distract yourself, but go find some pleasure. Go find something that makes you feel good. Go connect with nature. Pull you some tarot cards. Call a friend, you know, back to the basics. Remember the breath work. You know, remember the things that you have learned on your journey, even the simplest of things. And tap back in, and you will be led, even if you don't know where the fuck you're going. Spirit will guide you. Your feminine energy is the GPS, and the masculine is the driver. My masculine energy had no fucking clue where I was going earlier. I was just driving. But I ended up being exactly where I was meant to be, where I wanted to be. Okay, I love you.